Given peanut, a 4x5 array of zeros, and butter, a 5-element 1D array of indices, fill the rows of peanut with ones starting from the column indices given by butter. So, for example, in the first row of peanut, you're going to start at column index 3. That's going to be here. And you're going to replace these zeros with ones. In the second row, you're going to start at column index 0. So you're going to replace the entire row with ones. In the third row, you're going to start at index 4. So you're just going to replace this guy with a 1. And in the last row, you're going to start at column index 1. And you want to replace these 4 zeros with ones. Okay, here's the solution that I came up with. Let's break it down. So to start, we're going to build 2 arrays that match the shape of peanut. So the first array I'm going to build is called col indexes, and I'll say that equals np.array, open parens, open square brackets. And then I want to get the corresponding column index for each value in peanut. So the corresponding column indices in row 1 are going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then of course they're going to be the same thing for each row after that. So then I want to build another array, a 4x5 array, that gives the corresponding values from butter that we want to associate with each value in peanut. So I'll say butter expanded equals np.array, open parens, open square brackets. And so in the first row, we want to use the value 3. So I'll just say 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And in the second row, we're going to use the value 0. So I'll do the same thing. I'll just repeat the value 0 5 times. Third row is going to get the value 4. Fourth row is going to get the value 1. Okay, so now if I make the comparison and I say butter expanded is less than or equal to col indexes, I get back a 4x5 Boolean array where the true values tell me if the column index is greater than or equal to the corresponding value from butter. And these are exactly the values that we want to overwrite with ones. So for example, in the first row, we want to overwrite these zeros with ones because they occur at column index 3 and 4. And so you can see that's why these 2 values are true while these 3 values are false. So we could use this Boolean array to subset and make a replacement in the peanut array. But an easy trick that we can do here is just convert the Boolean array to integers, or actually floats, basically zeros and ones. So we'll say this dot as type, open parens, quotes, and the reason I'm going to use floats here is to match our input type. So you can see the decimals indicating that peanut is an array of floats. So I'll say open quotes float 64. And this gives me the desired output. Now, what we want to clean up is this array and this array. We want to make these a little bit more dynamic. So let's suppose for a second that butter expanded. Well, there's a lot of repetition here. So let's just make this guy a 4 row by 1 column array like this. And you can kind of see the repetition here as well. So we'll reduce this to a 1 row by 5 column array like this. And I'm going to go ahead and insert a new cell here. And so now if we do butter expanded is less than or equal to col indexes, the result of this actually broadcasts to the exact Boolean array that we wanted. So how do we build these arrays a little bit more dynamically? Well, butter expanded. Oh, and let me back up a second. Col indexes here is a 1 row by 5 column array. It's a 2-dimensional array. It actually doesn't even need to be 2-dimensional as long as butter expanded is 2-dimensional. If this guy is 1-dimensional, that's good enough for the broadcasting to work as we want it to. So instead of doing this, we could simply replace this with np.arange and then the number of columns in the peanut array. So we'll say peanut.shape square brackets 1. And let's go ahead and print col indexes. And then here, well, this comes from the butter array. So what we'll do here is we'll say butter open square brackets colon comma none. And this reshapes the butter array into a 4 row by 1 column array. And then we just kind of put those pieces together to get this statement here, which gives us the result.